Edgar Markov. Edgar Markov is the ancient progenitor of the vampire bloodline on Innistrad, once a mortal alchemist who used dark rituals to escape famine. His transformation into a vampire created a legacy of immortality and power, cementing his place as a feared patriarch, especially to his grandson Soren Markov. Edgar's eminence ability gives him a unique advantage by creating vampire tokens from the command zone, accelerating board presence without needing to be cast. Once on the battlefield, his haste and attack-triggered buffs make even small creatures become lethal threats. An Edgar Markov deck focuses on fast, aggressive vampire tribal strategies, swarming the board with cheap creatures and tokens. The deck also contains cards that can give buffs to quickly turn the horde into a deadly force, especially when backed by Mardu-colored support and removal. Combo ideas for Edgar Markov decks. Combo number 1. Bloodthirsty Conqueror, plus Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Required conditions: 1. Bloodthirsty Conqueror must be on the battlefield. 2. Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose must be on the battlefield. 3. You have a way to gain life. Activating the combo: 1. Gain life. 2. Vito triggers, causing an opponent to lose that much life. 3. Bloodthirsty Conqueror triggers, causing you to gain that much life. 4. Repeat from step 2. Combo results: 1. Infinite life gain triggers. 2. Infinite life gain. 3. Infinite life loss. Combo number 2. Edgar Markov, plus Oathsworn Vampire, plus Phyrexian Altar. Required conditions: 1. Edgar Markov must be on the battlefield or in the command zone. 2. Oathsworn Vampire is in your graveyard. 3. Phyrexian Altar must be on the battlefield. 4. You have gained life this turn. 5. Mana needed: a generic mana and a black mana. Activating the combo: 1. Cast Oathsworn Vampire from your graveyard. 2. Edgar triggers, then create a 1/1 vampire creature token. 3. Activate Phyrexian Altar twice by sacrificing the vampire token and Oathsworn Vampire. 4. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite death triggers. 2. Infinite ETB triggers. 3. Infinite LTB triggers. 4. Infinite sacrifice triggers. 5. Infinite storm count. Combo number 3. Bloodletter of Aclazotz, plus Blood Tribute. Required conditions: 1. Bloodletter of Aclazotz must be on the battlefield. 2. Blood Tribute is in your hand. 3. Mana needed: 4 generic mana and 2 black mana. Activating the combo: 1. Cast Blood Tribute, causing an opponent to lose their entire life total due to Bloodletter of Aclazotz damage replacement ability. 2. You may optionally pay Blood Tribute's kicker cost if you tap an untapped vampire you control to gain life equal to the chosen opponent's life total. Combo results: 1. Target opponent loses the game. 2. You potentially gain a large amount of life. Combo number 4. Cordial Vampire, plus Antler Skulkin, plus Ashnod's Altar. Required conditions: 1. Cordial Vampire must be on the battlefield. 2. Antler Skulkin must be on the battlefield. 3. Ashnod's Altar must be on the battlefield. 4. You control a white non-token vampire with toughness 2 or greater that does not have a -1/-1 counter on it. 5. Mana needed: 2 generic mana. Activating the combo: 1. Activate Antler Skulkin, giving the non-token white vampire persist until end of turn. 2. Activate Ashnod's Altar by sacrificing the non-token white vampire. 3. When the white vampire dies, its persist ability and Cordial Vampire will trigger. 4. Resolve the white vampire's persist trigger, returning it from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. 5. Resolve the Cordial Vampire trigger, putting a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. 6. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite +1/+1 counters on each vampire you control. 2. Infinite death triggers. 3. Infinite ETB triggers. 4. Infinite LTB triggers. 5. Infinite sacrifice triggers. Combo number 5, Exquisite Blood, plus Cliffhaven Vampire. Required conditions: 1. Exquisite Blood must be on the battlefield. 2. Cliffhaven Vampire must be on the battlefield. 3. You have a way to gain life. Activating the combo: 1. Gain life. 2. Cliffhaven Vampire triggers, causing each opponent to lose a life. 3. Exquisite Blood triggers for each opponent that lost a life. 4. Resolve an Exquisite Blood trigger, gaining a life. 5. Repeat from step 2. Combo results: 1. Infinite life gain triggers. 2. Infinite life gain. 3. Infinite life loss.
Hi Commander, if you are new here, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. Enjoy!
Non-game changer spells that are commonly found in Edgar Markov's deck. Cordial Vampire. Massive board growth. Edgar Markov floods the battlefield with vampire tokens, and every time one dies, Cordial Vampire will boost your entire vampire army with +1/+1 counters. Combat punishment. Opponents are disincentivized from trading or blocking your vampires, because every death results in buffs to the rest of your creatures, making your next attack even stronger. Sacrifice synergy. If combined with cards like Viscera Seer or Phyrexian Altar to repeatedly sacrifice vampires, Cordial Vampire will continuously trigger and keep growing your army exponentially while enabling other value engines. Captivating Vampire. Immediate buffs. Edgar is also a token-producing engine that constantly populates the board with new vampires, and Captivating Vampire boosts them all with a +1/+1 anthem effect, making even 1/1 tokens far more threatening. Take over opponents' creatures. With Edgar's Eminence creating tokens every time you cast a vampire, you can quickly amass 5 untapped vampires, enabling Captivating Vampire's mind control ability to steal key enemy creatures repeatedly. Board advantage and disruption. While you're growing your board, you're simultaneously weakening your opponents by stealing their best creatures and turning them into vampires, fueling even more synergy with your tribal effects. Stormcur Captain. Enhanced combat power. Stormcur Captain gives all your vampires +1/+1 buff and first strike, making Edgar's token army much harder to block and trade with, especially when combined with Edgar's own +1/+1 counters on attack. Efficient buff stacking. Since Edgar already grows your board rapidly with vampire tokens and counters, Stormcur Captain adds another layer of stat and combat superiority, allowing even 1/1 tokens to trade favorably or strike first and survive. Multiplicative aggression. With multiple vampire lords like Stormcur Captain, Legion Lieutenant, and Captivating Vampire, your army's damage and survivability scale explosively, turning token flood into lethal threat really fast. Blood Artist. Punishing token deaths. Edgar Markov floods the board with vampire tokens, and every time one dies, Blood Artist drains an opponent and gains you a life, turning chump blocks or sacrifice outlets into life swings. Resilience against board wipes. If a board wipe occurs and your creatures die, Blood Artist triggers for each one, potentially dealing massive life loss to opponents and keeping you alive, or even putting you ahead. Sacrifice engine value. If paired with other sack outlets, Blood Artist becomes part of an engine that can drain opponents repeatedly, scaling with the number of tokens Edgar creates. Indulgent Aristocrat. Converts tokens into permanent buffs. Edgar Markov creates many vampire tokens through Eminence, and Indulgent Aristocrat lets you sacrifice those tokens to pump your entire vampire army with +1/+1 counters. Board-wide scaling. The ability doesn't just affect one creature. It empowers every vampire you control, stacking aggressively with Edgar's attack-triggered counters and vampire lords like Legion Lieutenant or Captivating Vampire. Lifelink and utility. As a one-drop with Lifelink, It contributes to early game pressure and survivability, while doubling as a sack outlet that fuels Blood Artist and similar aristocrat-style effects in the deck. Legion Lieutenant. Efficient Lord effect. Legion Lieutenant is a 2-mana vampire lord that boosts all other vampires, including the 1/1 tokens that Edgar Markov produces through his Eminence ability, turning them into 2/2s or larger. Fast aggro scaling. Combined with Edgar's attack-triggered +1/+1 counters and token generation, Legion Lieutenant helps push out huge damage quickly, especially in decks that cast multiple low-cost vampires per turn. Tribal Anthem support. Alongside other vampire lords like Captivating Vampire and Stronger Captain, Legion Lieutenant helps build a stacked army where each new vampire enters the battlefield stronger than the last. Bloodline Keeper, Lord of Lineage. Token Generation Engine. Bloodline Keeper's tap ability creates 2 flying vampire tokens, which not only grow your board but also synergizes with vampire tribal payoffs. Transforms into a game-ending lord. In an Edgar Markov deck, reaching 5 vampires is trivial due to the Eminence ability. Once transformed, Lord of Lineage gives +2/+2 to all your vampires, massively enhancing your army's power. Stack Tribal Support. The card provides both token creation and anthem effects, making it a high-value inclusion. Combined with other vampire lords and sack outlets, Bloodline Keeper can quickly spiral your board into an unbeatable aerial force. Sanctum Seeker. Mass Drain on attack. Edgar Markov builds a wide board of vampires through his Eminence and attack triggers. With Sanctum Seeker, each attacking vampire causes opponents to lose a life, meaning even a swarm of small tokens will turn into a huge life drain for opponents. Life Gain and Resilience. The life gain helps offset damage from aggressive opponents or board wipes, making your strategy more sustainable while pressuring the whole table. No combat damage needed. Sanctum Seeker's trigger activates just by declaring attackers, so even if your creatures are blocked or removed in combat, the life drain still hits all opponents, amplifying your presence in multiplayer games. Welcoming Vampire. Free card draw from tokens. Edgar Markov's Eminence creates a 1/1 vampire token every time you cast a vampire spell. With Welcoming Vampire on the battlefield, these tokens trigger card draw, fueling your hand as you build your army. Efficient draw engine in aggro deck. Aggro decks often flood the board with small vampires. Since Welcoming Vampire triggers once per turn, you can draw cards not just on your turn but also with flash or instant speed token generation on opponents' turns. Low cost, high value. At just 3 mana with flying, Welcoming Vampire contributes to the air force while keeping your hand full, which is especially valuable in aggressive strategies that often empty their hand quickly. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Turns life gain into direct damage. Edgar decks often gain life through lifelink creatures like Indulgent Aristocrat, Sanctum Seeker, or vampire tokens with buffs. Vito converts every point of life gain into direct damage, turning small attacks into massive drain effects. One-turn kill potential. Activating Vito's ability gives lifelink to your entire vampire army, which can result in a swing that gives massive life gains, and also draining an opponent for the same amount, possibly winning the game. Combo Enabler. Vito pairs well with Exquisite Blood, creating a 2-card infinite combo. 1 card causes life gain, the other triggers infinite damage. In Edgar decks, it's easy to support that with tutors or incidental life gain triggers. Post your commander on the comments section below, and we will create a video like this for you. Thank you for watching.